What's going on, boys? Hey, Shawnee Mack over here with the boys at Full Send MMA. And listen, I love doing stuff like this. Contender series is coming up, and I'm fired up for this one. I got one of the most hyped guys on the Contender series with me right now. This is I feel like this is the illegitimate son of Tommy Lee from Motley Crue right here. This is Tommy Mcmillen. This is Tommy Guns. This is the
Let's go.
homie. He is going to be taking on David Mgoyan, I believe, September 2nd on Contender Series in a bout that I think should be the main event. I don't know why they have you guys starting off the night. In my opinion, this is the main event. This is one of the most hyped fights on Contender Series. And man, I'm looking forward to this one, brother.
Yes, sir, man. I'm excited. They gave me an undefeated Armenian Russian, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm gonna go out there and show them that, them boys overseas ain't the only kids that have been doing this their whole life. So I'm excited.
Yeah, so talk to me about what we got going on here, right? Because I posted a picture of like the top, 25 prospects in Contender Series to look out for this year. And I posted a picture. It was you and Tim, obviously the RedHawk Academy, the Sugar Show, that connection there. And people were like, well, why can't you just post the fighter? Why is Tim got to be in there and steal some clout? I was like, no, man, like these are the boys, these are the homies, and this is the guy that's next up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm from the same town as Tim Welch, Great Falls, Montana. We literally wrestled at the same high school. He's just quite a few years older than me. I remember being like a little third grader, fourth grader, watching Tim compete at the local shows and box and whatnot. So I've been close and following Tim's career my whole life. That dude's my brother. I'll fight anybody for that man. So he's gonna be right there with me as we make the journey to the top of the UFC.
And what do you think about like the belief that they have in you? Because I've seen them talking about you on the pod and they're like, man, we got to get Tommy on here. And they're like, bro, Tommy's going to be too big for us soon. Like the guy's a superstar.
Yeah, I mean the amount of belief that they have in me that just kind of power that just adds more power to everything I'm doing. Motivates me even more. I think that just goes to show the years that I've been out. I moved out to Arizona in like 2017 and started. I moved in with Sean O'Malley right after he won his fight on Contender Series, and I've been training with them ever since. So those two guys, they know what I'm capable of, and they know I'm down to fight anybody in the world at 145 pounds.
And I think we got to address the elephant in the room here because I'm going to get a lot of questions about this. But brother, we're like 3 weeks out from the fight here and you're crushing a happy dad right now.
No,
Like,
I mean, we're still 4 weeks out. Weight's really good, so just got done with the hard training session. I figured I'd, hop on here, get a little loose, and enjoy a few happy days with the boy.
gotta love it, man. I appreciate the support, man. So, where did like start this off for me? Like, where did the swagger come from? Like, obviously, like Sugar's got to have a little bit of influence on you, but I feel like there had to be something from like when you first started growing up that you've seen influence from that you're like, man, I don't know who this is or what the influence is going to be on my life, but I like this guy. I like this guy. Like, who do you take after?
Yeah, as a young kid, I always, kind of just wanted to grow up and have a lot of money. Saw people on TV, and I didn't really get the. I started wrestling when I was 3 years old, but I didn't really get the vision of being in UFC till I was around like third grade. And before I had the vision of growing up and being in UFC, I always wanted to grow up and be a rock star. I liked like music and guitars. I liked AC/DC, Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, all those guys. And like my dad listened to rock and stuff, so I just kind of I saw those rock stars the way they'd go out there and just rock a whole crowd, and I thought that was the sickest shit ever. And I think a lot of my style and sway kind of just comes from that. I'm a real Montana rock star that just decided to fight people for a living because it's easy money. So
So you're 27, right?
yes, sir. I turned 27 in December 15th of last year.
Right. So when did the tattoos come into play? Because I was getting them when I was 18. So when did the first one come into play for you?
I think I got my first tattoo like 3 years ago, which was this one.
Oh, so a
This
little
one.
later, 24.
Yeah, a little later, I'm not a kid that comes from money and stuff, and tattoos cost money, so I kind of finally started. I've always wanted tattoos, and there's really no good places to get tattoos up in Montana, so I didn't really have even the option to get tattoos till I moved out here, and I got a little cheddar, and I was like, it's time to get tatted.
Listen, you're smarter than me, man. I mean, back in the day, we were going to homies' basements and shit like that, and we ended up with a lot of things that should probably be covered up. So, listen, shout out to you for going the smart way and waiting
I'm
till.
I don't think I'm smart. Maybe I would just call it a little lucky, because if I had some homies that were getting tatted and tatting people up, I probably would have been right there and down to put whatever on me. So I'm maybe just a little lucky.
I feel that, brother. Now, the mafia, right? The Tommy Gun Mafia. I posted on my story the other day. I'm like, boys, like, Contender Series is coming up. Can you send me your top list of guys that you want to see me post about on Contender Series? Like, who should I look out for? And like, listen, I've been knowing you. We've been knowing each other for a little bit. You were supposed to be on Contender Series last year, but holy shit, I must have had 200 plus DMs. You know, it's Tommy.
Hmm.
Tommy's up next. Like, we were talking a bit off camera, but like explain to everybody where this insane fan base is coming from because like you're only on Contender Series, right? You're not even in the
Right.
UFC technically yet, and I'm already getting blown up with people talking about you.
Yeah, no, I think it's just kind of like a mixture of things, perfect recipe. This is truly my destiny, so this was always gonna happen no matter what. But I've just been studying this game my whole life since third grade, man. I used to lay in bed at night, pissed off as a third grader that I wasn't old enough to go make money in the UFC. So I've studied this game in and out, and I know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm just being myself, and I don't really care what people think. You know what I mean? You're either gonna love me or hate me, but one thing for sure, you're gonna tune in and watch me fight. You're either gonna want to see me get my ass kicked, you're gonna want to see me kick the other dude's ass, and that's just how it is. I'm down to fight anybody. I'm gonna talk my shit. I'm gonna hype these fights up because I like it. You know what I mean? Outside of fighting, I try to avoid conflict. I'm a nice person. I just like to hang out with my dog, relax in my house. But when the lights come on and I'm doing my job, you know what I mean? I'm gonna create conflict. I'm gonna get in these guys' head, and I'm gonna make sure they know that I'm down to sit there and bang with anybody.
So realistically, this could be the moment. You know what I mean? September
Hmm.
2nd, like this could be the moment. Like I was thinking about it today. That's where Sugar got the start. You know, Snoop Dogg was on commentary and we got the legendary O'Malley. You know what I mean? Like this this is the perfect fight. You have the amount of following behind you already. And I feel like they couldn't have picked a better guy for you to fight because like Dave Mgoyan is this is no slouch here, brother. This is like Arman Tsarukyan's protege.
Yeah, I mean Armin's protege, dude, like Khabib's cousin. I don't care who you are, bro. I've been doing this my whole life. I mean, these boys overseas, I don't know if they think they're the only ones that have been doing this their whole life, but I don't really care who he is. Like I didn't even say yes to the fight before it got announced because the UFC just knows that I was gonna say yes. So they announced the fight on the last UFC card last weekend, and I saw my name popped up because I had it was a new opponent, dude. I've had like three opponents. I've had two opponents back out. I didn't know who I was fighting. I just know I was gonna fight September 2nd, and it just so happens to be this kid. And I'm gonna show him there's levels to this game. He's a tough kid, but he's 21 and he just hasn't been around like I have. And I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna finish him.
Because you like I think last year you were originally scheduled with Austin Bashi, right? Correct me if I'm
Yes,
wrong.
yes, sir. I was originally, yeah, scheduled to fight Bashi, and that's kind of a lot of people really. That's I mean, I kind of gained a lot of following as I was kind of training for that, and then like the things I did after that. A lot of people I was like a dark horse. I feel like a lot of people didn't know me. I was going in at that fight as an underdog, but the funny thing is, I'd go out there and smoke the dude that Bashi lost to in his debut in the UFC. So I mean, that kid got lucky. I don't know if I'll ever see him down the road because I know he's lost to some dudes that I would beat up pretty easily. But you know, what I mean, I'd be hopefully I can get out there and go bust that kid up one of these days. But we'll see.
So how do you deal with like the adversity and the trash talk? Because like as far as the Armenian fans and like the Russian fans, I don't know if they've been in your DMs yet. I'm sure they will be leading up to this fight. I'm sure they will be after this interview gets posted. Like, what do you have to say to all these people that are going to be like basically like on your ass, trying to rattle you and trying to hype up David for this one?
Yeah, I mean, point the biggest skeptic out, man. I'm gonna make him a believer. That's what Drake said, right? Like, I really don't care. These guys are gonna love me after this fight because they're gonna go in there, they're gonna think that this boy's gonna dog walk me, and they're gonna see me shut this dude's wrestling down and finish him, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, we got a real American gangster to rally behind." Like, they're gonna realize that they're not the only boys over there that know how to do this shit at a high level. So I'm excited for it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Out of out of a few opponents that backed out, I had a Bellator veteran back out. I would have picked this kid. I like the undefeated factor behind him. There's a lot of hype behind him. He's Arman's cousin. He's got countries rallying behind him. Like that's what I'm built for, bro. This is what it's supposed to be. Like let's run it, man. Like this, I'm excited for this, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So,
Yeah, and I feel like in the MMA community, it's like it's so fickle sometimes, right? Because you're gonna come in there with like Sean and Tim and things like that, and
hmm
they're gonna see Armin and they're gonna see, oh, this guy's Armenian Russian, like he's gonna be grappling, and then they're instantly gonna compare it to, well, look at how Sean O'Malley did against Marab, not considering Marab is one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, and they're probably just gonna be like, oh, this Tommy kid can't wrestle. Like, what are we gonna see in there? Like, is the first takedown gonna get stuffed and you're gonna kind of like taunt the crowd or something like that? Or what's gonna happen as soon as the first grappling exchange happens?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about his grappling. I'm a good striker. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna find his chin, I'm gonna throw missiles at his chin for 15 minutes straight, and we'll see what that boy's made out of. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. He can try to dive and sniff my nuts as much as he wants, and I mean, it's not really gonna work out for him. Let's see how he feels after he's a little tired from some failed shots, and then let's see him stand up on his feet. I haven't really seen him been tested by too many tough opponents. I know his like last opponent had like an upside down record of like I think like 8-13, bro. If you're 8-13, you ain't making it out the first minute with me. So I mean, let's hope he's been training because I sure as hell have.
When did the Scarface influence take over? Because like the tattoo is sick. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. You
You
see
got
it? I got him on my wall right
that's
there
what I'm
too.
saying. I see him on the wall. I see the tattoo on your chest. Like when did that decision come into play?
I was always, dude, fascinated by like as funny as his like drug lord stories and stuff as a kid, like Pablo Escobar, all these guys. It's so fascinating to me because I think the thing that I like about those guys is it's about them and their family. They're willing to do anything to make a fortune for them and their family. And that's kind of how I look at this. I mean, I'm a kid from Great Falls, Montana, small town in Montana. Kids don't make it out of that town. A lot of my friends are still back up there, drug problems, whatever. The people really don't do much from there. And that's kind of the mentality I have when I go in there and fight. I'm doing this for me and my family, and there's no way somebody's gonna stop me. So that's why I got that Scarface tattoo. In the scene, everybody's rushing his house. They're trying to kill him, and he could have just ran, right? He could have just ran, but he said, "Nah, fuck this. Load the gun. I'm gonna come like gunning down. Like he's gonna die trying type shit." And that's just kind of the mentality I have. I know my why. I know why I do this. I'm very in tune with myself and the universe. And man, you're gonna have to kill me to stop me. I'm not gonna give up. And so I don't really know what this kid's game plan is, but he just better be ready for 15 minutes of war because I am. I'm gonna throw missiles at his chin.
Yeah, you want to play rough? Say hello to my little friend, and then he starts chopping them down, right?
Dude, it's so hard. Like, yeah, I've always been fascinated by that stuff, and I just like their mentality when it comes to just like protect them and theirs and do what they got to do, to just protect them and theirs, and that's kind of what I'm all about here. I'm gonna make a fortune for my family, and I'm gonna change the direction of my bloodline, and I'm willing to die about it.
I hear you, brother. Listen, that's the homie, man. Tommy McMillan, Tommy Guns. The world is his, right? September 2nd, he's going up against David Mgoyan. Tommy McMillan, he's 8-0. Mgoyan 7-0. In Shawnee Mack's opinion, this should be the fucking main event. If you're not tuning into this fight, I don't know what you're doing. Give your head a shake. Fucking don't come into my inbox if you're not watching this fight. You don't have a say on how this fight goes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
listen, brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate the support with, Team Happy Dad. I know the boys are going to be tuning in for this one. I'm going to be hyping you up, especially after this interview. Do you want to add anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, just huge shout out to all the mafia troops out there that are rallying behind me over the years. Those guys keep me going, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be anything without them, and I really do this for my family and the fans. I appreciate all the love and the support I get. And shout out to you and the Happy Dad boys for the way you guys have came into the MMA scene and kind of boosted that up a lot. I love MMA with a passion. You guys are doing a lot of good in the scene, and I appreciate that. And that's why I want to rock with you boys. And anytime you guys want to interview from me or anything, any invite to any after party, like you guys are mafia for life. So I appreciate you boys. And September 2nd, we're gonna go out there, get a UFC contract, and then maybe you guys hit me up after a fight.
The club will be going up on a Tuesday.
Mhm. Heck yeah, man.
Listen, man, Tommy Mcmillen, it's a pleasure. Shawnee Mack will full send MMA. We're out of here, boys.